Alrighty, we are coming at you for episode 2 of the Sports Card Advantage podcast. I'm joined with my co-host Bunk. What's up, Bunk?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. Not bad. A little warming up outside, so that's good. Snow's almost gone. Doing well.
Fantastic. All right. So just for context, we are recording episode 2 on March 2nd, 11 a.m. So when we talk about prices, you have a point of reference. Our topic of the week is going to be sports card seasonality. Football's over. Basketball's in mid-swing. Baseball is starting to get started. Let's talk about buying opportunities, selling opportunities, and what happens from season to season when the attention isn't on the sport. So what are we going to see in the football card market? What are we going to see in the baseball card market?
Yeah, so right now we're, the NFL season officially starts in 2 weeks in terms of the free agency and stuff like that. But right now it's the dead time for the NFL. I think now's the time. If you're a football card guy, you're going through, or gal, you're going through and looking for the players you want and the bargains you want now. Now's the time where the eyes are off football, and I think some of the prices are at their lowest. And baseball's ramping up. So for me, and we could speak to this further, I'm still buying baseball at this time because there's still going to be some increases. But baseball's ramping up.
Okay, so which we are going to talk about a little bit baseball in our investment segment. But if I'm looking to buy football, now's my time for bargains. Is that hold true for even guys like Justin Herbert, Mahomes, Brady, those kind of guys? Do you still see some of those prices drop off in the offseason? And then also, do you feel that some of the rookie cards from 2020 are also, potentially good buys at this point?
Yeah, listen, you're always going to be doing your homework, and certainly the iconic guys you got to do a little bit more homework on, because sure, Brady, Mahomes, and those type of guys, there's some fall off on certain cards, and there's also certain cards where the market stays strong throughout the year. But to your point, some of the rookies, especially last year's rookie class, the rookie class before that, guys that are now going to be maybe seeing their first real action in season 2 or 3 of their careers, they're at their bottom, guaranteed right now. So that's where I would be looking to get in on them is right now.
And as far as baseball is concerned and baseball heating up, what are you looking for? Are you buying rookies? Are you looking for veterans? Are you, where are we focusing our money as far as baseball? And then when do you feel is the cutoff as far as when you want to hold off to see how a guy's actually going to play for the season before you're, jumping in with more money?
Yeah, for me, it's 2 weeks after the World Series ends. You people start losing interest and stuff starts going down, and all through the winter if you follow baseball at all.
So you're buying throughout the season. So if
I'm buying throughout the winter season.
Okay, I'm talking about when do you stop buying as far as like first pitch, real game? When are you stopping to see how a guy's performing and whether or not you're continuing to buy cards?
Oh, right. That's what I was going to. So right now I'm still buying baseball. Prices are still traveling upwards on almost any top prospect and the stars in the game. And as far as when to stop, everyone's individual. Someone has a hot April, that's it. You're pumping the brakes. I mean, that's how the hobby responds. The market responds. It's almost like a day by day basis. We see this like crazy in the NBA. Someone drops 30 points and you see 100% spike. I don't think there's an exact time to stop baseball buying. I think you got to go with, commit to the players you want to look at, and you just got to follow the trends.
So if you're buying a young guy, Torkelson, Lou Bob, some of these other guys, and they, and you're not looking for PC or long-term holds, and they come out and hit, 10, 15 home runs in April, you're dumping right there and out.
That's correct. If I like somebody like Luis Robert, if I'm not collecting him, I'm not PCing him, I may keep a card away in case he's the greatest thing ever. But yeah, if I'm buying him now and he gets hot, I'm turning those cards over and I'm turning that money into things I want, to sets I want, to players I PC. Absolutely.
Yeah, and usually what are we seeing as far as increases from off season to regular season? I know that we we acquired some stuff in the offseason. Jordan, Luis Robert, a couple other guys that were, PSA 10s under $100, under $50 in certain cases. I mean, you anticipate 3-4x, for those guys if they start hot or get hot during the season?
Oh, I think 3 or 4, yeah, absolutely. You could see up to 10 times on some things. It really depends on where you get in. For me, and we can do a whole segment on check out my cards one day if you like. But I'll buy things on there for less than $1 and sell them for $10 2 months later. So that's low end of the card buying world, and lower end to what maybe a lot of people are wanting to spend and turn over. But the money's there. You look into it. People perform. You're going to get your spikes. But 3 to 4 times is not unrealistic at all on a common basis.
Absolutely. And, let's talk, since we're talking seasonality, let's talk NBA. I know it's not exactly your strong suit, but, we got NBA playoffs that are going to be coming up in a couple months, and then the NBA season winds down, and then we're in baseball. So, where are you as far as mid-season? And then, because we looked at modern basketball last week. We saw that modern basketball is down overall in general. Vintage also starting to come back down. Just to circle back on that, people feel like the market's peaked and, money's going elsewhere. So is now also mid-season, the lull, time to buy, especially with a lot of attention on NBA Top Shot, which we'll get to later. We buy, looking to buy NBA and looking for guys that are going to be on playoff teams.
Yeah, I think we saw in some of those charts you had shown us last time was that there was some spike come playoff time.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely be looking now. You can easily identify your top 5. As far as the play. Now I know they're doing 10 teams make the playoffs, but a little play-in for 7 through 10. But you can identify your top 5 seeds probably right now and start looking at those guys. Absolutely, because you'll see a little spike coming up.
Yeah, definitely starting to look at Miami Heat make a run. You got Hero, you got Adebayo, Ja Morant, Grizz look like they're going to make the playoffs. And if any of these guys shine in the playoffs like they did, like Hero did last year, you should definitely see some booms, towards the end of the season. And then just like football's fading now, basketball will fade into the off season, and then baseball will be our primary market until 2021 football comes out, and then it's going to be nuts. I personally think that 2021 football is going to be even crazier than last year. We have 5 or 6 QBs that are supposed to go top 20, and I think it's going to be even nuttier than the Herbert Tua, stuff from this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, pre-order your Prism now.
Yeah. Oh, those boxes are going to be like $1,500 to $2,000. It's going to be nuts. And okay, let's move on to segment 2. We're going to talk about our investment / flips of the week, and we're going to stay on topic with baseball. As spring training gets going, there's a couple guys that we're going to talk about that we feel are good investments, and we're going to bring up some charts again. Bunk's going to be walking us through Gleyber Torres and Pete Alonso. Even though we are New York, New Jersey guys, this is just more for value than it is anything else. New York's big market, and we both think that these guys are going to have big seasons, and you have opportunities to flip these cards over the next couple months for 2 to 3x your money. And once again, everything we talk about is for entertainment purposes only. This isn't meant to be buy, sell, or hold recommendations. Let's talk some Gleyber.
Yeah, so I picked out 2 cards. I mean, as a whole, let me just say, I think Gleyber Torres is tremendously undervalued. Certainly some of his older first Bowmans and some of his graded autographs, they're top of the line right now. But some of his base and flagship type rookie cards are grossly undervalued. The 2 I was looking at mainly is his 2018 Topps update, number 200 PSA 10, and his 2018 Topps Chrome PSA 10. Both can be had under $80. The update at $80 and the Topps Chrome at $65 to $70 PSA 10. The caveat there is the update has 8,200 population compared to the 2,900 of the Topps Chrome. So Topps Chrome is on, almost 2.5 times less and about $15 less. So for my money, I'm looking at the 2018 Topps Chrome rookie card of Glaber as far as the PSA 10s go.
Right.
But also, go ahead.
So we're looking at update now, and just to give people an example as far as what we were talking about in regards to seasonality, since it's literally like right in front of our face. I mean, this is last year through as soon as baseball is over, that's when his cards hit the lull, and then as soon as people start talking spring training, you're starting to see some jump here. So just to literally illustrate what we just talked about in front of people's eyes, season starts, all-time hype, everything's going, and then you just see it trail off. So we're looking at roughly $70 right now. This is the update, as Bunk mentioned, population 8215. But you can still get his PSA 10s for less than $80. And then we'll flip over to the Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome price is definitely stronger, but as Bunk mentioned, you've seen the population at 2,800 instead of 8,200, but still $70. And probably you may even be able to pick it up less if you can find an auction that ends midweek during the day, whatever it is. Usually you can get those for cheaper, and grab it, hopefully $50-$60, and it'd be a better value. It's Topps Chrome, lower pop. And hopefully you can flip it for 150 to 200 if he's playing good baseball.
Yeah, and don't sleep on the PSA 9s either. PSA 9s are obviously coming in for both Chrome and Update in the $20 to $30 range. There's significantly more 9s at $4,500 than there are 8s at $318 for Glaber.
This is PSA 9, population 312.
Yep. So you're looking at $20-$30 right now before the season starts. Though I honestly see those doubling, no problem, if these guys are playing well. And also, if you're a guy like, for me, I find some of these base cards can be boring. I'm more of a refractor or a better guy, especially for stuff I'm collecting. So if you're someone who can't, you don't want to put the money down on a PSA 10 refractor, pink refractor, gold, look at a PSA 9. The value's there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's stuff that you can get, especially if you have kids and you're looking to acquire stuff for them and teach them about the hobby. Buy PSA 9s, especially for $20-$30. It should be affordable. If you can't afford $20 or $30, you shouldn't be in the hobby. All right, let's move on to Alonso. Pete Alonso. Story is obviously played out of his mind in his rookie year, and last year was a bit of a down year during COVID, but a lot of people projecting he's going to be 40 to 50 home runs again, and also a guy that we're looking at less than $100 easy on PSA 10s. You should be able to get his Chrome for $70 to $80. Any comments on Alonso?
Yeah, so the two I was really comparing are his Topps Chrome, number 204, and the Topps Paper, his flagship rookie card. The flagship, running about $50 for PSA 10, whereas the Chrome's at the $70-$75 range. Something to keep in mind, though, is there's 3 times more of the population of the flagship. So while it's the more affordable buy, for me, I'm going to put a little bit more money and buy what I'd consider rarer PSA 10 Topps Chrome, Alonso.
Yeah, and even if we are at top of market right now as far as his cards are concerned, it's all going to come down to how he plays. If he comes out of the gate and he's hitting home runs in April, these are easily going to shoot over 100. And, if he comes out of the gate slow, you may just want to hold and see how he's playing and go from there. We'll look at the Topps Paper. Same deal. I mean, charts on this a little bit more favorable. Pops are higher, but you can get PSA 10s on these for probably $40, $50. And, it's a good risk reward. The lows on these cards are 30 to 35. So, if you can get one for 40 to 45, risk reward is there for you as far as making your money. Any other comments, anything else you want to talk about in regards to these two guys for this week?
No, No, just back to Alonso, like we did with Glaber on the PSA 9 side. There's less than 1,000 PSA 9s of Alonso's Topps Chrome. That's a nice buy. Whereas on his Topps Papers flagship card, there's 3,500 nines. So again, for money there, if I'm buying a 9, I'm going with the Topps Chrome on Alonso.
Yeah. Same deal as Glaber, 20 to 25 bucks, and even cheaper. February 2021, 16 bucks. Should be good risk reward as far as looking to flip these over the course of the next couple months. All right, we're going to change gears to basketball and talk a little lottery ticket. We're going to talk Kevin Porter Jr. today, and I know that you're thinking Kevin Porter Jr. isn't even in the NBA right now, but that's why we're going to look at him as our lottery ticket. His PSA 10 rookie Prism is going for roughly about $70 to $80. He is playing in the G League for the Houston Rockets. He came in with the Cavs, highly touted, supposed to be a huge prospect, fizzled out, had some issues, went over the G League. Right now, he's absolutely crushing the G League, and there's speculation that he's going to be back in the NBA within the next month or so. And I think if he comes back to the NBA and his skills translate and he gets back on track, this definitely has opportunity to take off. Once again, with anything in the lottery ticket type of, discussions that we have, we always look risk reward. And, on the charts, we're looking at lows $50 to $60. So if you can get lucky, get this card for, hopefully right around 70. There's not that much downside. You have some big upside back in August. The card peaked at about $140. So if he comes back to the NBA, starts playing well, definitely some opportunity for this card to spike and for you to, have a quick flip on this lottery ticket. Unfortunately, he plays for Houston. Houston is absolutely awful this year. So there's going to be no playoff run for Houston. So this is something that is going to be a quick window that you're going to have. Get something now before, he continues to make headlines and possibly get switched back onto the NBA roster. And, as soon as he drops that first big night, card should spike and you should have an opportunity to flip it and make some money. Not huge money, but at the same time, right now we're trying to find opportunities for people that are, everyday guys. All the talk seems to be on these cards that are $4,000, $5,000, $10,000. And most people can't afford that. Most people got a, family and college and other stuff that they got to worry about. So, we'll try to find opportunities for you guys that are affordable and, you can make some money on some flips.
Triple-double last week in the G League.
Triple-double last week in the G League. Messed around and had to get a triple-double. Little Ice Cube for those of you who didn't recognize that quote. All right, so we are going to move on to our next segment, and that is Box Break 101. So for those of you that don't know what a box break is, box breaks are the reason why we're all here. Box breaks have fueled the hobby for however many years, and they are the main reason why there's so much money flowing into the market. Bunk, you want to give everybody a basic overview of what a box break is?
Yeah, I mean, you could go on forever here, but a real basic overview is, traditionally I'd go to my LCS and I'd buy the whole darn box or multiple boxes, and then
what's an LCS?
We got
newbies here.
Local card store, local card shop, and then instead of, if you only collect a certain team or player and you didn't want the whole box, breaking evolved where you can get yourself and buy a random team in a box. You can buy yourself a specific team in a box. You can purchase a division in the box. And what that means is whatever random team you end up with, or the team you purchase outright, or the random division you end up with, you will just receive the cards from that team, that player, that division, in that break, and you can try to be more specific with what you collect.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives people an opportunity to buy into a box or a case of cards that they could not afford to buy, usually, outright. There are literally thousands and thousands of box breakers on Instagram, on YouTube, on websites, and there's a lot of things that you need to be aware of and be careful of in regards to box breakers. Make sure that you do your due diligence before sending anybody any money. Some of these box breaks are literally $1,000, $1,500 for some of the more expensive, like National Treasures product, and some of them can all the way be as cheap as like 20 or 30 bucks if you're somebody's breaking hanger boxes. There are literally levels of breakers for everybody out there. You can find them by either Googling sports card box breaks, going on Instagram looking for box breaks, going on YouTube looking for box breaks. Make sure Twitter, make sure that when you pick whoever you want to do for your box breaks has some sort of established following. Look through previous videos of the breaks to see that they're doing everything above board. And when I say above board, it means they're opening all the cards on camera in front of you. All the valuable cards are at least being put into penny sleeves and top loaders to protect them. There's so many shysters out there and people that are taking advantage of newbies. So, when you're looking for box breaks, just make sure that you're dealing with people that are established, and also do the math. Do the math. If it's $1,000 box of cards and there's, retail, go on to like, Steel City Collectibles or
Blowout, DA Card World,
DA Card World, eBay, see what the retail price is of the cards. If it's $1,000 box of cards and there's 25 slots, do the math. How much of a premium is the breaker making? Yes, they should be making something, but a lot of times they're buying in cases or bulk that they're already getting a discount below retail. So if they're making 30-40% above retail, you're getting ripped off. So make sure that you're doing your due diligence and that you're making sure that the breaker's not charging too much of a premium, and that that they have some kind of established history.
Go ahead. Another thing I would add would be also make sure what ships. Not all breakers ship all cards, so you got to make sure you look at the fine print there. Now, you should ship all cards, but some don't. And depending on the product that you're in, it might be very base heavy or something of that nature. Don't buy, get in a break, and then all of a sudden you only get 3 cards and you're expecting all the base cards. Make sure you determine or see that all cards do in fact ship in your break.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of breakers out there that are just looking to save on shipping and or materials, and they're literally just going to ship you anything that they deem to be some sort of hit in the box. And if you don't get any hits, then guess what? You just paid to get in a break and you're not getting anything.
I mean, there's nothing worse than getting nothing. I mean, I'd rather, at least if I get nothing, I get all the base cards from it. I mean, that makes me feel good, sadly.
Yeah,
I mean, if you strike out, but all cards should ship. And listen, there are breakers that I like that don't ship all cards, and I'll wait for a certain product where in their notes it'll say, okay, we're shipping all cards from this product. Okay, fine, then you got me back. But
yeah, and the other thing too is some of these products that have like 4 cards in a box, and that are you have to make sure you understand what the product is that's breaking. Once again, get onto Steel City, DA Card World. You can look at the product and see how many cards come in a box, how many boxes in, how many cards come in a pack, how many boxes are in, how many packs are in the box, and that'll give you an idea roughly of whether or not, if you only have one team, whether or not you have a chance of getting anything. If there's 10 cards that are going to come out of a box and it's a single box break, and there's 30 slots that are sold, then 20 of you are going home with nothing. So.
Yeah. And I respect the people that I hate box breaks. I want to buy my own box and open them. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I don't blame you. Buying your own, you're guaranteed hits.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not get what you want, but you're guaranteed hits, and you're getting your money's worth from it.
Yeah,
and the big movement coming up is buy singles.
Buy singles. Explain what that means.
That just means instead of gambling all your money away in multiple box breaks where you might not hit a lot, you just literally put that money towards buying what you want, buy the
So
card you want.
yeah, so let's 100% address that now. There are thousands of breakers that are breaking every single night, and I want to make this explicitly clear. Box breaking is for entertainment. It's not for building your collection. It's not for, getting the big card. It's not for any of that. It is literally pure
What?
risk.
Well, I mean, I disagree with that, and from the standpoint of it, you're gambling for the big card,
Yeah.
and you are in fact building your collection. But I understand what you're saying.
But I mean, how many breaks you got to get into to potentially get the big card? I mean, it's like if I got to spend
Usually a lot.
Yeah, if I got to spend $200, $300, $400 to get into products that actually have big cards, how many of those am I getting in? And if I wind up in 8, 10 of these, before I actually hit the big card, as you just said, buy the single fucking card, and then you don't have to worry about, all the rest of this.
I know, but box breaks are fun, dude.
Yeah, they're 100% fun. But for people that are new, that have never experienced a box break, they see all this stuff on social media. And the people that are breaking, they're breaking dozens of boxes, cases a night. And guess what? They're posting their big hits on Instagram. And then you're seeing like, holy shit, I can win this Justin Herbert or this Joe Burrow or this Zion. And you don't see the literally dozens of other people who didn't get absolutely anything. And I think it's something that you got to know going in. Don't anticipate
that you are gambling.
You're 100% gambling. So if you're looking to build your collection or you're looking to get that big card, buy it outright or buy what you want. Box breaks are literally for, hey, I got a couple $100. I want to roll the dice. Same as if you're going to go sit at a table in Vegas and play blackjack or anything else. It's the same. I mean, the only difference is, at least if I sit down at a table in blackjack for $250, I'm not done. It's not a wham bam thank you ma'am in 5 minutes, and I'm sitting there very unsatisfied if I don't win anything. Sitting playing $25 hands of blackjack, at least I should be able to get an hour's worth of entertainment before I may be completely broke. And with box breaks, sometimes these things last 6 minutes and you're out. So just, we both participate in box breaks. We eventually have some stuff that we're going to be doing with box break reviews with another project we're working on. But, just know that going in with box breaks, that it is pure risk and that you looking at it as entertainment and, go have fun with it. And if you can, find smaller box breaks until you get the hang of it, because there are some serious, serious breaks out there that can cost serious money.
Yeah, and I think the big takeaway here is do your homework. Find a reliable breaker that has a nice community of followers. Even if you're landing teams or you're getting the breaks of cards you don't want, you network. You network amongst the collectors in certain breaking communities, and you can trade those cards and get what you want that way. So, I mean, buy singles, but you can get into breaks and have fun with it and meet new people and form relationships, and you can trade those cards for what you want. But you got to put the work in.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, one other piece of advice before we wrap this up. If you hit the big card, do not sell it to the breaker until you do your research. A lot of times, even quote unquote reliable breakers will prey on newbies, and you'll hit some $2,000 Zion card and they're like, oh, I'll give you $500 for it. And then he'll give you some bullshit story about, oh, you have to go through the this and that and the eBay fees and whatever. And then by the time you're all said and done, it's $500. And that's bullshit.
Break credit.
Yeah. Or he'll give you break credit. Exactly. There's a couple of huge breakers out there that break credit is how they accumulate massive pieces. And it's all profit to them. So understand that if you do hit that big card, just don't go dump it back to the breaker for fast money. Do your research, figure out what it's worth, get on eBay and, eBay, or go through a consignment and sell it that way. You're always going to do better going through consignment or selling it on eBay. Don't sell it back to the breaker. All right, moving on to today's hot take.
What's next, guy?
Today's hot take is something that everybody in multiple hobbies are talking about, and that's NBA Top Shot.
You love it.
I fucking hate NBA Top Shot. Um, and it's not because I'm not young and hip or into basketball or anything else. And, and it's not that I don't think there's a place for NBA Top Shot. My hot take on NBA Top Shot is that within 3 months, the market will implode. And I'm not a certain tanned individual out in Vegas talking about, the sports card market or anything else. And I'm not saying that it's going to go away completely. NBA Top Shot, for those of you that don't know, is where you can buy NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. If you don't know what those are, go look them up. We don't have time to explain exactly what they are, but it's based on crypto blockchain technology. You're buying video highlights. And their claim is you're buying NBA history. And I think that claim is a bunch of bullshit, because most of the fucking moments that you can buy on NBA Top Shot that cost thousands of dollars are highlights that mean absolutely zero in the long term of basketball. You're buying a LeBron three-pointer that he hit in the middle of freaking October that meant nothing for that game and it meant nothing for NBA history. But since it's the newest, greatest, biggest thing that everybody's trying to basically buy and flip for money, somebody is going to get fucked. And if you don't know what you're talking about, that somebody is going to be you. Because now that NFTs have hit mainstream with Top Shot and with art and with Logan Paul and Pokemon and all this stuff, everybody and their mother is going to make an NFT for something. And the market's going to get flooded with NFTs and everything else related to that. So whether or not I think the NFTs that are out there now are going to hold any value, no, I don't. Because I think right now everybody is trying to make the quick and easy buck and flip and make money. But do I think that some guy that's only maybe kind of good in the NBA, whose Top Shot moment out of $4.99 is selling for $2,500 right now, is going to be worth absolutely anything in 3 months? No. If I had $1,500, I'm not spending it on fucking Top Shot. I'm going to go buy a Mike Trout PSA 9 or, some sort of other card.
Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you could buy Topps Update Trout PSA 9 for $1,500. And if you want long-term value, that's what's going to have your long-term value.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's what I mean. I want to make it clear. Like I'm not getting mad at people trying to make money, but I just think you got to recognize that's what the majority of people are using this platform right now, is to make the quick buck. So once they make their quick buck and things cool down a little bit, what happened?
Yeah, the prices are going to crash. And will I think that this eventually will settle? Yes. Do I think it has a place in the future? Yes. But here's what we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen NFL top play, MLB top hit, top field, top home run, top whatever the fuck else you want to put in MLB and soccer and basketball and tennis and golf and all these other sports that don't have this yet. And guess what?
What about a Spud Webb dunk?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. If you have Spud Webb's dunk from the NBA dunk contest when he won and it's actual NBA history, yes, I'll give you that. But some guy that you've never heard of that's going to be out of the league in 5 years, whose NBA Top Shot is selling for thousands of dollars, is worthless. Give me the Jordan flu game where he hits the game winner. Give me the Larry Bird play where he saves it from going out of bounds and hits the winning shot. Give me anything that has historical significance, and I'll say, yes, there's value there. But some no-name play in the middle of the season, in the middle of the second quarter, that doesn't mean shit to anybody. I just don't see it having long-term value.
That's fine. Like I said, if you're making money, then good for you. I wouldn't be against doing it. I'm just saying that there's nothing I'm buying that I'm holding. I'd be doing it to quickly get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to hold any long-term value whatsoever.
100%. And I think that certain things will, as they get further into this and they figure it out, I think certain things will hold long-term value. I do think that technology, digital, crypto is the future for a lot of things. And I do think this will eventually spread into other sports and it'll be there. But I just don't think that these inflated values are there. I mean, yesterday I bought, for the sake of education and this podcast, I bought an RJ Barrett dunk in the middle of the game in October for $67. I can go.
It didn't win the game?
No, it was it was in the middle of the quarter, second quarter, third quarter, whatever it was, and it's just like, okay, and we'll sit on this for a little bit. The Knicks may make the playoffs, and maybe in a month or so I can flip it and make a little bit of money. But
or trade it for a gallon of milk.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be worth $3 in 3 months. So I think that the market is too new. There's so much stuff going on in NFTs, and most of the people don't understand what the fuck NFTs are. And you have these people that are hosting these podcasts and people on Twitch and this and that and talking about the market like they know what's going to happen. They don't. The market is literally 2 months old.
It's all hype train. That's what's keeping it going right now. So that's fine. You just know you're in it. You're making money. Good for you, but be careful.
It's 100% FOMO. It's 100% hype train. It's 100% pump and dump. And, you got to be aware of that. If you want to buy in, get in line, buy packs, do other things that are on the cheaper side. Do the best you can to acquire packs and don't buy super expensive moments. Like if you missed a boat, I'm sorry. If you listen to me and decide not to and you missed the boat, it is what it is, but we're going to miss the boat too. Like Bunk and I are not buying any high value NBA Top Shot right now, and we're not in the foreseeable future. So, we 100% will wait online for packs because, we'll basically try to open those packs or sell the packs or do whatever we can do to make money, but we're not buying any, expensive moments.
I want Adam Dunn home run clips.
You may actually have the opportunity for that in the near future because I have to imagine, NBA Top Shot has made $200 and something million in the first 2 months of this endeavor. There was they did a pack drop the other day, a couple days ago. There was 200,000+ accounts that are online. Do I think 25% of those are, people that have created multiple accounts just to try to acquire packs? Yes, I do. I think that Top Shot is not doing a fantastic job as far as keeping out, that bad element. But I think baseball is soon to follow. NFL, soccer, tennis, golf, the whole 9 yards. It will eventually be flooded with everything. I think this market as a whole will cool dramatically and then find its base before you see investing opportunities for long term. All right, I'm done ranting about Top Shot. I'm sure it's not going to be the last time, but for now, that's it for that topic. We got one more.
You're gonna get a lot of dislike for that segment.
Well, by all means, dislike it, but we'll see who's right in the next few months, and we'll keep you posted on all this. Next segment is Peanut Gallery. Speaking of new things, the question is HGA, new grading company, starting to get hot. Definitely taking shots at PSA right on their homepage of their website, saying, we promise to deliver in a certain amount of days, and we're going to deliver in that time. I believe that is directed at BGS and PSA, who are vastly behind as far as fulfilling their commitments to people. And
so bad.
Yeah, it's awful. But what's your take on HGA? What are you submitting cards to HGA? What are you seeing for the future?
So background on me, I have never once submitted a card to be graded. I've always wanted to, never had. Literally this past week, I've submitted my first 2 cards ever. I've been collecting for 30 plus years to HGA. My take on it is they're getting crushed on Twitter. People are only posting, the bad things about it. I mean, obviously you're seeing the good grades and stuff, but all the customer service screw ups. But I have not yet seen, and they say right on the website, they have the best customer service period. Every single resolution I've seen for their screw ups online has been outstanding and more than acceptable to me. The stuff they're doing to go out of the way. Now, listen, new company. They're trying to limit the amount they take in per week because they probably limited some staff at the beginning here. So I would like to think they shouldn't be making as many mistakes. But like, listen, anything new, you're going to screw up, and it's how you fix them that keeps you going. And from what I can tell, they're taking care of all the mislabels and stuff like that. They're making it right. And I think they're delivering on their delivery times. From what I've talked to multiple people about it. Everyone's been satisfied with their turnaround time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for those of you that are unfamiliar with HGA, I'm going to actually just bring up a card here on screen to just let people know why they're different and why they're getting a lot of hype. The main thing is they're taking a limited number of submissions and, really trying to turn things around in, if you pay for 10 days, then you get your cards back in 10 days. And then the biggest thing is the look. So right now I have a Zion 2019 NBA Hoops rookie. If you look at the top of the card, it's the coloring. You have choice of team color or you have choice of card color, and they try to match the color of the grading sheet to the card itself. And, there's a lot of people that are talking about talking about sports cards as works of art. And, I think this takes it to that next level. They are still very, very, very new. So, our advice, if you have a big card, if you have a card that if it grades out at a PSA 10 could be worth more than a few $1,000s, submit it to PSA, bite the bullet, and wait. If you have a card that's a couple $100 graded out, or if you have cards that are paper cards or, they're raw or 50, 100, $200, submit them. I don't think you have anything to lose right now. The reason why I wouldn't submit big cards to HGA is you never know what happens. God forbid something happens, company goes under, you're screwed. So, and it's a possibility. They're not the first company that has come out with something a little bit different other than PSA and Beckett. So if you got that 86 Fleer, Michael Jordan, I'm not submitting that to HGA. Somebody has. There's an HGA Jordan 8 floating around.
The only way I'm doing that is if I drive right to their store and say, "Here, grade it in front of me."
Yeah, but do you really think it's worth? The risk? What happens if in 3 years from now HGA goes under and you have an HGA graded whatever? I mean, the cards.
You crack it open like everyone else does and ruin population ports.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll definitely have to crack the slab.
Another segment.
And resubmit to PSA or BGS.
Listen, to your point, they're brand new. No one knows what to expect. And I tend to agree with if it's a big time card or something like that, then right now, until we see a bigger sample size from HGA, I'd be more comfortable sending to the big dogs. But right now, the two cards I sent, they're middle end type cards, but they're cards I'm keeping forever.
Yeah.
So that's where I felt comfortable right now is I submitted cards I like. I tried to match the color and team to the way the card looked to see what they look like. And we can do a reveal here on another show, but when I get them back, but I like the idea of, I don't know how it's going to last with this, the technology they're using to deep scan these cards and such. And is that a turn on to people? We'll find out. But what I do know, they look really good. They display really well. So as far as PC cards go, I love them. I like to look at it. And as far as resale goes, if you look at the money right now, they're holding their stick to PSA and BGS as far as resale for now.
Yeah. Just for disclosure purposes, last night bought a Donovan Mitchell rookie and a Randy Arozarena rookie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Both HGA 9.5s. I would say that they came in at about 75 to 80% of PSA 10. So, for now, we are very much team HGA. A lot of people are like poo-pooing them because they're different or, whatever, and it's not proven. But if it's not big cards that, you're looking to flip and make huge money on, it looks better. It just does. If you're interested in the look of your cards, it just looks better. And right now, very much Team HGA, and hope that it succeeds and gives some diversity to the marketplace.
Yeah, like anything in the hobby, know what direction you're headed in and why you're making the decisions you make. So if you're sending HDA to because you're trying to make money, well, maybe that's not the best decision yet. If you're sending it there because it looks cool and you're going to display it, then heck yeah, why not?
Yeah, 100%. If you're hoping for PSA 10 and you want to flip it, you got to go PSA. But if you're holding longer term, or you like the look of it, go HGA. And that's what we're doing. We have a couple cards that in the PCs that we're going to be submitting also, and we'll probably do some content on that in regards to the whole process and how to get in, and but as far as I know, Friday night at 9 Eastern, they open up 1,500 slots for people to submit cards. And, if you get into those 1,500 slots, then you can submit your cards.
Yeah, full transparency. The two I submitted were through somebody else because I was scared to do it myself. But truth be told, I just created my own HGA account.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and
it's so easy online too.
Yep. And we're not sponsored by HGA. This isn't a plug for HGA. It's just, we like to see diversity in the hobby. We like to see different things come up and keep it fresh. So, for the time being, until proven otherwise, we're good on HGA, and, submit your cards in there, and they haven't given anybody a reason not to, trust them so far.
Agree.
Any final thoughts?
No, sir. Hope you have yourself a great day.
I will do the same. Thank you very much for joining the Sports Card Advantage podcast. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next week.